we are going to see now the solved example that are given before practice set 5.1. So example 1 is very easy. They have given two coordinates points P and Q and asked to find out distance. You can do it yourself. Then show that the points A minus 3, 2, B 1 minus 2, C 9 minus 10 are collinear. Again this type of sums we have solved. You have to find out AB, BC and AC. They have given all the solved, so you have to do yourself in your notebook. Verify whether the points these are collinear. Again same method, third sum. Then fourth sum, they have given 4 vertices and you are asked to show that they are the vertices of square. So in square all sides are congruent. AB equal to BC equal to DC equal to AD. That's why they have calculated AB, BC, CD and AD. But in addition to that, when all sides are congruent, it will become a rhombus. Therefore, we are going to calculate here the diagonals AC and BD. By considering the coordinates of points A and C, we are going to find out AC. That's why they have find out AC root 68 and BD root 68. So when you want to show the quadrilateral square, you have to find out the diagonals in addition to sides. Remember, this is the solved example number 4. Then example number 5 is exactly similar to the sum number 3 from practice set 5.1. So instead of the point on the x-axis, they have given in practice set 5.1 the point is on x-axis. Therefore we have considered the y coordinate as 0. So here they have given in solved example the point is on y-axis. That means you are going to consider x coordinate as 0, and therefore they have started let point P0y equidistant from M and N, and they have equated Pm square equal to Pn square. Again you will have the equation and you can get the value of y. Now example number 6 is exactly similar to the sum in the problem set, sum number 16. So whenever we are going to solve problem set, at that time we will refer to this sum. Then example number 7, if point x and y is equidistant from point 7135, show that y equal to x minus 2. So here point which is equidistant, they are it is not on any particular axis and its coordinates are given as x and y. So let that point be P. Then you are going to write the equation AP square equal to BP square. As the given point which is equidistant has no coordinates in number, we are getting some equation, and that we have to prove y equal to x minus 2. So this sum is also similar to example 5. Now find the value of y if the distance between the points A 2 minus 2 B minus 1 y is 5. So here it is exactly similar to sum number 7 from practice set 5.1. So after completing practice set 5.1, immediately you complete all the solved examples. Now we are going to see page number 108. They have given you the important property which we are going to prove in the chapter similarity. So property of intercepts made by 3 parallel lines. So they have shown you 3 parallel lines L, M and N, and P and Q are their transversals. AB, BC, DE and EF are known as intercepts. So that much you have studied already in previous standards. Now whenever there are 2 transversal on these 3 parallel lines, then the ratio of intercepts is equal. That property we are going to see as a property, we are going to prove it, not seeing it, as the application of BPT in chapter similarity, which is the first chapter. So what is the property that you remember just now? Here whenever AB upon BC is the ratio of intercept on one transversal P, then that ratio is always equal to DE upon EF. So that property you have to remember, because this property we are going to use to prove the next formula in this section. So AB upon BC is equal to DE upon EF. That means if AB is 4, BC is 2, then if DE will be 6, then EF will be 3. So the ratio is 2:1. That is the meaning. Now we are going to study the new formula that is known as the section formula of internal division. So they have shown you the figure 5.12. In that figure, P is the point which is lying between the segment AB, and the ratio AP is to PB is 6 is to 10. That is, by reducing it is 3 is to 5. So for getting the coordinates of point P, what formula we are going to use, that they have derived, which is known as section formula of internal division. So they have shown you the segment AB in XY plane, and that segment AB is divided by point P having coordinates. Now you focus on the figure and then you listen what I am telling, then you will understood quickly. So A coordinates they are given x1 y1, coordinates of B they are given x2 y2, and the point P which is dividing segment AB has a coordinates x and y. So assume A x1 y1, B x2 y2 and P xy. Then you are going to draw AC perpendicular x-axis, PQ perpendicular x-axis, BD perpendicular to x-axis. As these three lines are perpendicular to the same line, they are parallel to each other, and therefore we can have AC parallel PQ parallel BD, we can consider it. Now here, as we have drawn AC perpendicular, PQ perpendicular and BD perpendicular to x-axis, point C, Q, D are lying on x-axis. Therefore, the coordinates of point C, Q and D, which are the y coordinates, that will be 0. Whenever the point is lying on x-axis, its y coordinate always 0. And as AC is parallel to y-axis, the x coordinate of A, which is x1, will be same as the x coordinate of C. Therefore, C will have coordinate x1 0. Then Q have y coordinate 0 as it is lying on x-axis, and as PQ parallel to y-axis, the x coordinate of P will be the x coordinate of Q. As they are lying on the same line, so Q has coordinate x0 and D will have coordinate x2 0, and therefore we will have CQ equal to x minus x1. Distance CQ will be x minus x1. Distance QD will be x2 minus x1. So that's why they have given CQ equal to x minus x1 and QD equal to x2 minus x. Now here we are going to use the property of intercepts made by three parallel lines, and therefore we can write AP upon PB is equal to CQ upon QD. AP, suppose we are going to consider M, here it is N. CQ we have already having x minus x1, and QD we are having x2 minus x. So on cross multiplication, mx2 minus mx equal to nx minus nx1. So mx2 plus nx1 is equal to nx plus mx. So I will take x here common. mx2 plus nx1 is equal to, taking x common here, m plus n. So what will be the x coordinate of that point of intersection? mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So that is how you are going to prove the formula for the x coordinate of point P, which is the point of intersection of segment AB. Followed? So that is how they have derived the formula. Usually they don't ask the derivation or the proof in exam, but we are going to use it. But you should know that this x coordinate is of point P, which is the intersection point of segment AB. Similarly, we can have y coordinate as my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. So you take down these formulae. First, practice set 5.1 we have solved on the basis of the distance formula, root x2 minus x1 bracket square plus y2 minus y1 bracket square. Now in this 5.2, for 5.2 practice set, we are going to use this first formula, which is a section formula of internal division. So you take it down first. Then from that we are going to derive the formula for midpoint, whenever the midpoint is given of a segment, then suppose AB is a segment and P is its midpoint. Suppose x1 and y1 are the coordinates of A, x2 and y2 are the coordinates of point B, then what will be the coordinate of point P, which is the midpoint of AB. So that they have given you. So in this m and n, they are equal. So in this formula, mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, they have directly written this formula. X is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So here they have put up for n, m, because m equal to n. So it will become mx2 plus mx1 upon m plus m. So that will be taking m common, x2 plus x1 plus x2 upon 2m. So mm will get cancelled. So what will be the coordinate x? x1 plus x2 upon 2. And what will be the coordinate y? y1 plus y2 upon 2. So in detail they have given the proofs. So you can read it from book also. But here only we are going to start from this, and for m you can for n you can substitute m. So here it will become m, here also it will become m, so here it will be 2m. So here taking m common, mm will get cancelled, so you will have x1 plus x2 by 2 as the midpoint formula for getting the x coordinate if the midpoint is given, and y1 plus y2 by 2 for the y coordinate if the midpoint is given. Now third formula they have derived, that is known as centroid formula. So you know that for a triangle, the point of intersection of medians is known as centroid. So see figure 5.16. Now in this figure they have given A, B, C having coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, and they have shown you the median AD on which they have taken point G, which is the centroid, and this centroid has coordinates x and y whose value or whose formula we are going to derive. So here on the next page, coordinates of point D. Now D is a midpoint of BC. Why? Because AD is a median and we are deriving centroid, and centroid is a part which is the intersection of medians of a triangle. Therefore AD is a median. So for getting the coordinates of D, we can consider the midpoint formula for BC. So that will be x2 plus x3 upon 2, and y coordinate will be y2 plus y3 upon 2. Followed? Now as G is a centroid, the ratio AG is to GD is 2:1. So you know that the centroid divides each median in the ratio 2:1. So now we are having m as 2 and n as 1. The ratio AG is to GD. We are having m1. So they have drawn the triangle. So this is the median x2, y2, and this is x1, y1, sorry x3, y3, and A has coordinate x1, y1. What? So the centroid divides each median in the ratio 2:1. So our m is 2, n is 1, and coordinates of D are here x2 plus x3 upon 2, comma y2 plus y3 upon 2 by midpoint formula. Got you? Then here you are going to use the section formula of internal division, because point G is dividing AD internally. So coordinate of G will be mx2, m is 2, mx x2 plus x3 by 2 plus nx1, that is n is 1. So it is x1 upon m plus n, that means 2 plus 1 will be 3. So 2 will get cancelled. So G will be x2 plus x3 plus x1 upon 3. So you can write this as G coordinate, x coordinate of centroid is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, and y coordinate of centroid is y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So for solving practice set 5.2, you have to remember three formulae. One, the section formula of internal division. Second, the midpoint formula. And third one, the centroid formula. Now we will start practice set 5.2. Find the coordinates of point P if P divides the line segment joining the points A minus 7 1 minus 1 7 B 4 minus 3 in the ratio 2:3. So how to solve such a type of sums? So it is the easiest sum. Here we are using bisection formula of internal division. So we are going to write, let the coordinates of point P be xy, which we are going to find out, and by using section formula of internal division, first we are going to write the formula. X coordinate of P will be mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So we are going to put up the value. They have given A minus 1 7. So this is x1, this is y1. B has coordinates 4 minus 3. So this is x2, this is y2. And m is given as 2, n is given as 3. So you first write all the values separately so that while substituting you will not make any mistake. So m is 2, x2 is how much? 4, plus n is how much? 3, x1 is minus 1 upon m plus n. So x is equal to 8 minus 3 upon 5. So x is equal to 5 upon 5. So that will be 1. So coordinate of P, x coordinate of P will be 1. Again we are going to find out the y coordinate. So y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. So m is 2, y2 is minus 3, n is 3, y1 is 7 upon m plus n is 2 plus 3. So minus 6 plus 3. y1 is how much? They have given y1 is 7, minus 1 7. It is given 7, correct. So plus 21 upon 5. So 21 minus 6 will be 15 upon 5. So 5 3s are 15. So 1 and 3 are the coordinates of P. That is how you are going to use the formula of section formula of internal division for getting the coordinates of the point which is dividing the given line segment. Now second question is exactly similar. In each of the following examples, find the coordinates of points A which divides the segment PQ in the ratio A is to B. So A is to B means you can consider first as M and second as N. So here P, they have same exactly similar method is there. So here in each of the coordinate here point A, so instead of point P they have given A, so its coordinate we are going to consider x and y, and here ratio is given 2:1. So m is to n, 2:1. Followed? So coordinates of P they have given minus 3 7, that is x1 y1, and Q they have given 1 minus 4, that is x2 y2. So again we are going to use the same formula. Here x is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So x is equal to m is given 2, x2 is given 1 plus n is given 1, x1 is given minus 3 upon m plus n is 2 plus 1 is 3. So x will be 2 minus 3 upon 3. So x is equal to minus 1 upon 3. Then for y coordinate, again we are going to write the formula y equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. So m is 2, y2 is minus 4 plus n is 1. y1 is 7 upon m plus n is 2 plus 1, that is 3. So minus 8 plus 7 upon 3, so minus 1 upon 3. So coordinates of x and y of point A are minus 1 upon 3, minus 1 upon 3. Now you can solve the similar method, second and third sum. So you can do these two sums as a homework. You take down in your notebook, textbook. These two sums you are going to solve as a homework. Alright. Then you are going to solve third sum. Find the ratio in which P minus 1 6 divides the line segment joining the points P minus 3 10 Q 6 minus 8. So this is somewhat different sum. So I will show it on board. Now instead of asking the coordinates of point of intersection, they have asked the ratio m is to n, they have asked. So I will draw the figures. They have given point segment PQ. Point T they have given, whose coordinates they have given minus 1 6. Then here P coordinate minus 3 10 and Q coordinate 6 and minus 8. Find the ratio in which, and you are asked to find out m is to n. M you are not knowing, n you are not knowing, so you are asked to find out m and n. So again you are going to use the same formula, bisection formula. Coordinate x coordinate of t is equal to formula mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n. So x coordinate of t is minus 1, mx2, m we are going to find out, we are not knowing. So this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. So mx2 plus nx1, n we are not knowing, nx1 that is minus 3, m plus n we are not knowing. Alright? So minus m minus n is equal to 6m minus 3n. So minus m minus 6n is equal to minus 3n plus n. So minus 7m is equal to minus 2n. So here m is minus n will get cancelled. M is to n is equal to 2 is to 7. So the ratio of m is to n is 2 is to 7. Any coordinate you can take, minus 1 or 6, and solve only the half part. This much is sufficient, because from that we are getting directly the value of m is to n. So you can solve by taking any coordinate, either x or y. You will get the answer. Now they have given the fourth sum. Point P is the center of circle of, and AB is the diameter. Find the coordinates of point B if the coordinate of A and P are that respectively. So if we draw a circle, then center of circle they have given here. Center of circle is P and AB is a diameter. That means here P is a midpoint of AB. P midpoint AB, that is given to you. And find the coordinates of point B. Coordinates of point B they have asked, so we will label it as x and y. If A and P have coordinate of A are given 2 and minus 3. Coordinate of P are given minus 2, 0. So you are going to use midpoint formula. By midpoint formula, x coordinate of P is equal to x1 plus x2 by 2. So what is x coordinate of P? Minus 2 is equal to 2 plus x upon 2. x1 plus x2 upon 2. So minus 4 equal to 2 plus x. Minus 4 minus 2 equal to x. So minus 6 is equal to x. And y coordinate of P is equal to y1 plus y2 upon 2. So y coordinate is given 0. y1 plus y2 is minus 3 plus y upon 2. So 0 is equal to minus 3 plus y. Minus y is equal to minus 3. So y equal to 3. So the coordinates are -6 and 3 of point B.